Hello, Ben. Welcome back, SpongeBob, me boy. Is that how we stayed this week?
That's
Yeah.
how we start this week.
Oh, right. So, hello, and welcome back to Hunt and Lowdown, the podcast for a fellow four-star. Though I've been fluctuating these past couple weeks.
You and me both.
Um, solo is still a menace to my MMA rating. Um, I am Bodo, and I'm here with my co-host of Drake, like always.
Hello, hello.
And we're here very recently after the last one. I'm sure it hasn't been a month. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Life's been crazy, and it is 12:45 for me right now.
It's
this
12:45 for me too. Yeah.
this is where we live right now in our recording sessions. So we have
Yeah.
not. It's partially been laziness, but it's more been scheduling
This could
keenness.
be a really typical cast, or it could be a little different because it's so early in the morning or late at night,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
and
see.
we've never recorded this late before. I don't think so.
We have definitely not,
Yeah.
because most of I've had my teaching job, so I've been unable to do these because I wish to have a good night's sleep when I have to deal with middle schoolers. So
Yeah. Oh, that's totally
yeah,
fair.
which I go back in like 2 weeks. Ugh.
2 weeks. Dang. How
Yeah,
how long did you
the
have
end
off?
of like a month and a half.
A
It's
month and
it's
a
like two
half.
months. It's 2 months because it's teaching, but I had to wrap up a bunch of stuff for the first year, and the fun thing was my principal called me and was like, "Hey, is it fine with this stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. Like, don't like I'll handle it. Don't worry about it." And what my principal heard was, "Yes, it is fine if the janitors throw out all of that." So like the last like 3-4 weeks of prep work I had got legitimately thrown in the trash.
Oh
So that
no.
was like straight up trash can. So
Wow.
yeah, so I'm going in the next couple of weeks, the next couple of days to. I'm gonna force myself to have like the week leading up. I'm gonna force myself to have a normal work week and go
Mhm.
in and prep it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Jeez,
Um,
that's
yeah.
unfortunate.
How's life been with you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's kind of standard, honestly. Typical.
Yeah,
Yeah, nothing really crazy or
you
different.
you
I'm still
starting? Are
working night
you
shifts, so
you starting to adjust that?
oh yeah, I'm adjusted to it.
Okay.
It's just it's it's interesting because I'm always opposite of all my friends. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's real weird because like the flip side of that is my buddy Hunter works on. Hunter, I hope you don't mind me doxing you on the podcast you listen to. Hello.
hi Hunter.
Um, but he works night shifts, and so he really wants to finish the event, and so he's been waking up like
Oh,
three
bless
hours
him.
early, and so we've been it's been like the 4 to 7 grind. We grind out the event and get like
Well,
it's like we're like going. We need to get those points, baby.
wait a second. Me and him need to group up.
Yeah,
I'm night
honestly,
shift. I play hunt. Like that's
Hunter, hit up
it's
Drake.
it's kind of what this podcast is about. So I mean,
Yeah, there we
yeah.
go.
Are you a
We've
fellow
done it. We
4-star
figured out.
hunter? Hunter?
Yeah, he's been we've been playing a lot of memes.
I'm pretty sure Hunter and I have played together before. It's just been a
Yeah,
while.
you have. We've
Yeah.
played trios. I do want to share. This is gonna lead us into like the hunt stories. We haven't done this in a while, but Drake, are you familiar with the deadly trap combo? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
become more of a menace lately. And there's been
Has
this
it?
weird trend. Well, yeah, just a little bit. Not terribly, but
Okay.
um, there's been this really annoying trend of people deadly trapping extractions.
Oh no.
Like
Okay.
it's freaking annoying because 90% of the time what happens is nothing doing a fight, and then you just walk to extraction on the empty lobby and just get deadly trapped and you lose a bear.
Yeah.
And like that's it. And it's just annoying. So we went, okay. So there's 3 extractions. And if you play trios, that's 3 hunters.
Hmm.
And they have lunch boxes now.
They do portable lunch boxes.
Yes. So we
I see where this is going.
fired
Oh
up
no.
don't do this at home, folks. First of all, it's expensive and bad. But we all brought in 4 lunchboxes or 3 lunchboxes because some people were cowards and brought vit shots. And then we deadly trapped extracts, all 3 of them. Well, we did 2 of them because we spawned at one, and then the boss
This
wasn't
is
anywhere close to it.
amazing.
So
God, I didn't think about this until you're
okay,
talking about it.
when you
That's
bring,
wild.
I have footage of this, so if we can play this in the background, I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah. I'll play it over top of my face.
I've got another one in the water.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna start dropping lunchboxes. Lunchbox deployed. Lunchbox deployed. Lunchbox deployed.
Number 6.
Oh, that's a dirty one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put one right here in the thing, so maybe like they avoid it. Yeah. Right here. Be very careful. It's like right in all of this water. Hide it so that they don't see it. Yeah.
I have made friends.
I'm gonna put one right in this place because that's where people hide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm getting out. Deadly trap here. What'd I get? Yes! Deadly trap, baby! You put one, yeah, you put one right here then. So if they come out, then I will put one. We really should have brought Poacher. Jesus. We definitely should have brought Poacher.
4.
Probably this one, right?
Alright, that's it in my deadly traps, but I do have one more concentrina.
Yeah, just put a concertina right here, and then I will set fire ones on it. It is... So Hunter and I went to one, and then my buddy went to the other. Since all the lunchboxes have 2 uses, we had 7 lunchboxes.
Mm-hmm.
And we both brought deadly traps and alerts. Legitimately, we got to the point where I went, I don't feel safe here anymore. Because we put down roughly, like probably 10 to 20 deadly traps. Like, all the bushes, because it was a water extract, all the bushes were trapped on one side facing the bounty. Both sides of the boat were deadly extract. Both like the little like front and back things were trapped. There's a little like white house nearby. The bushes on both sides of that were trapped. The doors in and out of the door were trapped, and then there were random alert mines. And then like some other ones like up ahead, so like when they were running and like if you stop for cover, we put some there too. Like it was it was off, and then they didn't go there. They went to our buddies who he only brought 3 lunchboxes and deadly traps, and he still got 2 of the kills, and then we were right there, so we just killed the third one.
Wow, that's
like, this was
insane.
It was insanely lucky of how it worked. The highlight of it was he sent the picture of like what we're going in with to one of his buddies at work who plays on console, and with just the caption of "This is what we're playing," and we had like kind of mean sweat loadouts, so like explosive nitro and crap.
Oh jeez, y'all.
So not necessarily good, but like better. Yeah.
If you land your hits, good.
Yeah, and then the buddy replied, "What in the world?" And then when we updated with we wiped server, he said, "You didn't earn it."
You didn't earn it. That's good.
Which
I like that.
Which I feel like was that. So that was the funny thing that we did.
And what's even better with that idea, with that plan, is if you went in with both Pack Mule and Frontiersman.
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay,
good. Don't worry.
Very good.
It was.
That's insane. Now I want to do it.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. And I mean, the thing, it costs just to do that part. That's like $300. I feel like.
Oh.
Yeah, and if you bring the alerts, you don't get a knife. Like no chokes, no knife.
Right.
It's really funny.
I probably wouldn't bring the alerts, honestly. I think the deadly is all you really need.
It's not about
the deadly
playing
duo.
Well, Drake. It's not about playing well. It's about memeing.
It's about memeing and ruining people's nights. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so that was anyway. That's
what
we
you
did.
all heard it here. Baldy and crew are horrible people.
Yeah. It was really fucking funny. Though.
Oh, that's rough.
So
but I kind of want to do it now.
Like we chased him to extract, and then like we were like, yeah, we did so well, and then the other team that was fighting him came up and started killing us. We're like, oh no,
no.
But
that's insane.
Yeah,
I like that. I did have a similar minor story really quick. Last
Oh,
night.
you're a miner. You mining? What are you mining?
Diamonds. It's Minecraft.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
playing with my brother last night, and we duo doing the wild card for this event, which we'll get into. And
I was gonna use that as a transition. You ruined it now.
and then it was during the hard rain, and I heard footsteps. Was like, what? Looked over, saw a dude staring at me. Somehow he knew where I was. I was crouched in a bush. We were ratting, camping the gator, like a bunch of normal people. Yeah, probably. And I popped him in the head. He went down. My brother had concertina, and he put 2 on his body because we thought he was a solo. And we were like, this won't kill him if he's got, like, you know, the right traits.
Yeah, the stuff.
Yeah, so we were like, all right. So I had a poison bomb because I'm weird and I like the poison bomb. So I threw that on his body, and we went and took care of the gator. Mid-fight of the gator, I didn't notice it while I was fighting the gator, but I have a clip of it in my Discord where you can hear the slight little poof of a distant concertina going off, and he ended up dying because I think his buddy had necro. Had to have. That's the way we determined he had to have had necro to pick him up.
I did just send you a screenshot from that same match. So.
Did you? Okay. Yeah. No, you did not do that to this poor person. Is that a Miko? Audio, that poor Miko.
Yeah, for audio, that is not a poor Miko. She bullied us with a bow and arrow.
Okay, well, you're bullying the bully. I guess that's fair.
For those at home, what I sent was a dead Miko with, I think, 4 alerts, 4 concertina, and 3 poison trap mines, all on like the same body, something like that. It's a lot of it
looks like a spider web of traps across this body.
Yeah, we weren't sure if she was like a part of a team or what. So we're like, yeah, be safe. Well, actually, that's not true. We put down 2 of us put down 1, and then Hunter's like, yeah, I'll catch up with you guys in a second. I'll make sure she's good. And then he sent this to the group chat. But
nice,
yeah. And as you can tell in that picture, audio listeners, it's heavy rain, Jason. But yeah, heavy rains. They brought rain into Hunt.
They brought rain into Hunt with this event.
You can't hear crap in it. And
it's amazing.
On one hand, I love it because you can push without worrying about steps, and you can play more aggressively.
Yep.
Especially with Death Cheat working as intended.
Right. Yeah.
But on the other hand, for the love of God, I miss everything. Like there will be a man 3 feet away, like wagging a nitro in my face, and I will not see it.
Really?
I cannot see anything in heavy shooting.
You don't see anything, really?
No, it's just because I'm blind. But
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, there's the obvious limit of the fog that rolls in when the heavy rain starts. Obviously, you're not going to see much past that.
Yeah, that's it's mainly during heavy rain. Normally, it's fine.
Like, unless they have the backdrop of like a mound or something, I can usually see people's silhouettes really well in the with that fog.
It's the mound's the big thing. Like if anybody has like a dark clothing mound, heavy rain, you're just like,
then it's really rough. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But I generally really like the heavy rain.
I do too. Before we get into it too much, basically what they've done is they've been testing the wild card with nighttime and nobody's been playing it. And then they went, hey, it works. It works. So if you wish for this event, they've got the normal battle pass. We go through that, a bunch of legendaries, all the new stuff's on there. You can opt in or opt out. This is not like Scrappy. This is not like Desau, where it's basically like you're locked. Like they've got really high percentages, and you just gotta deal with it. This is a separate queue where you can queue into the wild card. And the wild card is, it's rain, and rain causes some stuff, and then heavy rain, which like triggers a lot more, like stops burning and stuff like that. It's a lot harder to hear, all that, and you can find Rotjaw in any wild card, and Rotjaw is the new Gator boss.
Finally,
and yeah, Gator boss is pretty well. Technically not a boss.
He's a wild
card target because he doesn't trigger.
A wild target, yeah.
They like do these quests to find boss layers and fight the new boss, and it's like, oh, that's so cool. I'm so excited to go complete my boss layer quest on Rotjaw, the new boss, and they're like, yeah,
it's not really a boss, yeah.
It wouldn't be a shame if you just didn't get it, huh?
It's somewhere between a boss and like a meathead. It's harder than meathead, not as hard as a boss.
I'll be honest. Watchout kills me more than any other boss in the game
Really?
consistently.
You and third both. He just dies constantly to it, and I don't understand it.
I do the thing. Everyone's like, just walk to the right or the left, and I do it, and then Watchout just goes, "Screw you, 125 HP gone," and I'm go, "Well, I thought I was fine missing 25, and now I'm dead.
Right.
Thanks, Watchout."
That's so weird. I'm gonna jinx myself saying this, but I've yet to actually go down to Raja. Like, I
don't know if this is a hot take, but I thoroughly enjoy. I do not enjoy fighting Raja.
I don't mind it. It was especially fun in the beginning because I like learning the mechanics and like figuring it out. I love that. Now it's like, because he's really not that difficult to learn. So once you learn him, it's like, okay, I'm good.
I'll be honest. If I have explosives on me, I use explosives to speed up because I hate fighting him so much. Like, even if it's like dynamite bundle or frags, like, this is prime PvP. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, right. A friend of mine. So for those who don't know, if you play Hunt, you're probably listening to this because you play Hunt, so you probably already know. But the Rotjaw he actually starts on the shore somewhere hidden in reeds, and once you get close enough, he waddles into the water. So that's like, you can actually hear it, and you can hear him.
Waddled away, waddle.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And so if you sneak up on him and you find him before he's triggered and goes into the water, you can actually throw a bomb on him before he enters the water. And my friend Vibu TV, he shout out to Vibu, he had a sticky bomb, and he primed that thing perfectly, and that thing's 8 seconds, and I don't know about you, but after like 6 I get worried. I'm like, oh no, where am I in this timer?
You tap where you're like, am I gonna kill myself?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, and he held it for so long that I really thought he was about to blow himself up, but he timed it perfect, chucked it, landed on his back or his head, and like as he started to waddle forward, it blew up, and he was down to like less than a quarter.
Yeah, it takes him down real fast.
Less than a quarter, and I think we shot him, like me and whoever else I was playing with shot him as he was waddling in. We killed him before he hit the water. It was like the fastest I've ever killed that.
Speaking of exploding Watchout, are you aware that his model and his audio and his triggering are not synced up?
No.
Because I exploded him, and then I watched him go into the water, and so I was like, okay, cool. Go into the water, wiggle around like a little fish to bait him out. And nothing happened. And I do it again, nothing happens. And I scan, I hear him gurgling.
Are you sure you weren't
I'm like,
close enough?
No, I was. So there's like a little island. I was like the next island. So I walk over there, and I'm like, I hear him, like his animation. Like I hear the noises of him going and going into the water, and then like the bubbles spawning.
Your sound effects for Raja are great. I love it.
He just desynced from me. He's like,
technically someone will get mad at me if I don't clarify.
Oh God.
Them. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever. I think it's funny because everybody's doing the like. Mike was like, he entered the chat's like, and he's like, oh, right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, right, okay. Fine.
Look, I'm sorry. The alligator and the butcher bosses. I'm not thinking enough to.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. And it was just so weird because she just wasn't linked up to the audio. Like she
interesting.
The animation went in, she took the damage, and then she just.
I haven't seen that myself yet.
I haven't seen it since that. It was a one-off thing. Like it's a.
Okay, so more like a bug that it didn't happen enough for them to warrant fixing.
It's not like where Scrappy chased me out of the boss layer like 3 or 4 times when he was first announced. Like it is not.
That would be horrifying if that happened. You know what? They should actually introduce stuff like that where bosses would occasionally. No, I never had that.
Oh, that was the best. Like I have screenshots of like Scrappy just like chilling outside the lair, but like he wants to go back in, so he'll just be like staring at like a closed like sliding gate because he slapped it on the way out, and he's just like staring at it like, I want to go back home. Why'd you bring me out here?
I don't like this.
But
that would actually make the game a little more interesting if they had the other bosses like able to leave the lair temporarily, but then they automatically path back in somehow.
My issue with it is them finding their way back in, like it just wouldn't necessarily work, and then it already feels BS enough when like you choose to go into the boss lair and they slap you and kill you during a PvP fight. I don't really
True.
know if I want them like hunting out unless it's a boss that like I actively
Maybe if the boss is
chose
the
to.
last 25% or something, that they could do that. You know what I mean? Like a special
I
enrage.
think it's the thing if I think it'd be fine as a mechanic, I think they'd have to do it with a new boss.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Like the compound is their lair.
And they'd probably have to
Mwahaha.
redo a lot of the compounds to have a.
That'd be interesting. Like you have a boss that like pops between like all the different buildings. Like something like the
Oh,
assassin where he
interesting.
goes, "Whoa, what?" and then like went off to another building. You're like, no, come back
Can
here.
you imagine you're just running
Not
through the bayou, like not really thinking about anything, and like just killing grunts, and all of a sudden you see the assassin's pool of goop slide by you. Yeah, you're like,
I don't
whoa.
yeah, I don't think it should go between different compounds, but like
Oh,
you know
okay.
how several compounds have like multiple boss layers?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like Port Reeker.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
That would be kind of
Reaper,
cool.
Chapel, all those.
That would actually be
You know,
really interesting because when you're in a
not Chapel,
firefight
Church. Yeah.
with another team at Port Reeker, from like if you're in the like two different buildings,
I'm an
layer
idiot.
buildings, and then all of a sudden the assassin appears behind you when he wasn't there before. Like that'd be kind of cool.
Drake, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
It's not just 2 clue compounds that have multiple boss layers, right? Because
Which
Fort,
ones have?
Church, Blanket, those all have 2.
Church has
Because
2
Devant
because he could
has
be
2, right?
upstairs or downstairs.
Devant
Devant
has
Devant has
because Devant
2.
has main burn and side burn, right?
Yeah, but he wait.
Right?
I think it's only main barn that the boss can be in
Is it
there.
only main burn?
I think so. Yeah,
Can he
yeah,
not?
yeah.
Can he not spawn
I don't
into?
think he's in the side barn.
Because Butcher spawns in side burn, doesn't he?
Devon only has the one. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's 2 buildings
Does
where
Butcher,
the other one
Butcher
could
spawn?
be.
No, because Butcher spawns in the one with by the White House, right? Not by
Yeah,
the
yeah, in the White House
yeah, and
or
then
by the White House.
Spider spawns in the one by the Butcher spawn with all the bears and the dogs, right? The little field
Um.
near water compound, which names eludes me. Catfish, I think.
Yeah. Cypress.
Cypress, thank you. Catfish is on the other side.
Correct. That side barn. I don't think any boss spawns in there. Or does the spider spawn? I never actually noticed that. That's very interesting.
I'm pretty.
If that's the case, I gotta now. I'm gonna pay attention. Thank you
Welcome
for
to our
pointing this out.
Welcome to Title Shadows, where we talk about where does the butcher spawn.
Right. Well,
Anyway,
that's very interesting because I don't remember if the spider
like,
specifically spawns in one or the other, or the butcher spawns specifically one or the other.
well, because I was thinking about it, I was gonna say like,
Huh.
oh, it's all the 2 clue compounds, but then like Forked River in DeSalle, they all only spawn in the big main building, right?
Correct. They
Because
all
nowhere else
only
is
spawn
big
in
enough.
there. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, it can't be that. So it's just some compounds have 2 and some compounds don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
But they'd have to
I'm sure
redo some of those compounds to have bosses be able to leave the lair.
tying it back to not bosses. So
Oh yeah.
how do you feel overall about a new, I almost said fishy friend, but that's not a new reptilian friend.
The swamp puppy. That's what I've been calling her.
Yeah, a swamp puppy.
The swamp puppy. I actually really like the
And
swamp puppy
a
personally.
wild carrot. Like, what from that part of the event do you hope what do you hope they take away from it, I guess?
Take away from it? You mean like, oh, take away from wildcard and put it into the main?
Yeah, Mr. Dennis is obviously listening to our
Obviously,
podcast.
because
Yeah.
we're the #1 hunt showdown
Wait, one second.
podcast everywhere.
I really love my favorite gun in the game is Spectre Compact Dennis. Please listen to us. No.
I take it
No,
that's something that he's a fan of.
I like that's that. Do you not know about this? Yeah, so
No, I don't know about this.
I love Dennis. He's hilarious. First of all, he makes puns and stuff during his streams.
Oh,
It makes me sad.
I
'cause
automatically like him then.
Yeah, he normally streams during in German because he
Streams
speaks
in
German.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm always really excited when he streams with like Mike or somebody because I'm like, yes, I can listen
Give me
to you
some
and appreciate
English.
you.
Yes.
And he plays weird loadouts. Like he plays like Sniper, Spitzer, and then like Spectre Sawn Off. It's
Okay.
weird.
I mean,
But
I could see that. Fast firing offhand.
It's just so
Or
inconsistent.
faster firing offhand than
Yeah,
some.
but
Yeah.
anyway, what do Dennis is listening because we've summoned him with the
Of
power of
course.
respect impact.
Right.
What do you have? What do you have to say to Mr. John Krytek?
Mr. John Krytek. In
Yeah,
terms of Swamp Puppy and Rain, I hope.
yeah, and I guess or anything else that you want to like transition to for the event, but like
Right. Okay.
mainly those two.
Well, I'd like to hear your opinion too on this, but in terms
Yeah.
of those two things, I hope they keep both. I hope Rain gets moved into the main standard contract because I
The
like
shuffle.
it that much. Yeah, the main shuffle. Thank you. I love the Rain that much, and frankly, I've been waiting for Rain since I started playing this game. Like, and it's been years. I got the game when it came out, but I haven't been
popular
playing it the
request.
whole time. Yeah. And honestly, I hope they keep the Swamp Puppy. I hope they do. I hope Swamp Puppy. Here's what they could do with Swamp Puppy, in my opinion, is make it random if Swamp Puppy even exists in the standard contract. You know what I mean? So like a 50-50 chance of it of Swamp Puppy even existing.
Well, she has to. I believe she's
map.
coded that you can only get her with
Rain.
single boss.
Oh, interesting.
Because she's kind of like a quote unquote second boss target.
I understand that. I think that because
I don't know
she's not a
it'd be hard to
boss, she should
change.
be included with doubles as well. But like make it random though. So
yeah, I'm not saying like she shouldn't. I'm saying I think that's how it operates right now because I know that's how that might just be a wild card thing.
I got you. But okay, then I'll say I hope that's what they do is they include Swamp Puppy as a chance at least with solo or double boss. I think that'd be great.
Okay.
The Rain, it's perfect. I have no issues with it. I know the AMD people have had some issues with it on release because the Rain was like disappearing for them.
Yeah, they patched that though, right?
If they haven't, they were going to. Yeah, it's on the radar. Yeah.
So how do you feel? Because I mean I kind of agree with you. My only thing is I think I might prefer staying as a wild card.
Okay.
Like I would prefer them like bring back Inferno, keep this, and like have just some wild card active. I don't know if I want it in the main shuffle, but that's just because it's such a different play style. I feel like it should be opted in.
Right.
But I also feel like nighttime and fog should be opted in too. So
how about this? Standard contract is all you ever have to select, right? But have maybe a pop-out menu or something, or maybe checkboxes where you can include the wild card as an option to queue into. So if enough people have it, it just gets kind of added in. Yeah, so you're always on standard contract, but there's a chance of going into one with Rain or one with nighttime or Serpent Moon or whatever.
I think that's not quite the same thing, but it's so you're saying instead of having here's your wild card, you have standard queue and then the other queue of also including wild cards.
I would just say let it be standard queue, but if enough people have wild card, like one of the wild cards that you have selected, it just gets added in as an option. You know what I mean?
I don't want to bother with I feel like that queue could get like the little click mark could get lost or something. I think I'd prefer to just have two queues because they seem to like having wild cards, and I don't want to have standard opt-in and wild card. That seems like a bit weird.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think the other thing is if they put it in and then they had like I like the wild card being not necessarily is like one thing. So like, hey, standard queue is everything, including Inferno and Rain. Wild cards 2 boss daytime. Hey, everything's in there, but we've taken out Inferno, and Inferno's the wild card, right? Something like that.
Okay.
But
I think I like that.
I think the big thing though is I freaking love the new content being in a wild card. Because there have been times where
I think I like that too.
Of Rain.
Yeah.
And there are times where I'm like just like, yeah, let's go Mariner, baby.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's been
I've been calling that Marinera.
Oh, the joke between a group is it's the whole like marinating yourself. So like, oh, I gotta go dip myself in the water.
Marinate yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's been a whole thing. But yeah, I really like that. I wish they had done that with Inferno.
Right. Instead
Inferno,
of just having it as as part of the main contract.
yeah, and Inferno, I feel like has been less impactful than Rain.
I agree. In fact, I was talking about this with my brother last night. I kind of wish with Inferno they programmed in the various patches of fire that, like, you know, the
Mhm.
like the bunches of trees that were on fire, for example.
Yeah.
But then have like each section them off, and each section be a toggle. And when the round starts, or right, maybe before the round starts, when the match is generated, they can be randomly 1 or 0, and if it's 1, then it's on fire. If it's 0, it's not on fire.
Top of
But then
I think
include more of the map in that. Include more of
I
the map, and then have a maximum of, you know, I don't know, 15 patches that can be on fire.
I
That
think the
way it
bigger issue
randomizes it a bit more.
I think the bigger issue was the absolute lack of incentive to do anything with fire.
Yeah, I feel like if they had more traits maybe that were like fire related.
Well, speaking of traits, I do want we're going to use that as a transition
Okay, I like it.
because I feel like the big two differences between this event and the last one can be summed up in Inferno versus Mariner and the 2 wild cards, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in Inferno, you could go into the fire, and I think in the entire event, I think I had 2 fights in the fire, and then
Jeez.
Inferno existed. Nobody took it. Nobody really cared.
Right.
Lunar was almost really good, but was just
I personally loved it, but yeah.
Yeah, it was great. But the problem was Death Cheat. Death Cheat's so insanely busted
I mean, yeah.
that it was. I think them making it a burn trait this event helped
If it
rebalance.
worked properly.
We're going to talk about that. So for this event, for those of you who don't know, the last one was each one had 2 traits.
2 traits.
Two traits, and you would get 1 trait and it'd stick around, and then you get a second trait and it'd stick around. And the first one would trigger off of 1 pledge mark, and the second one would trigger from
4?
3 pledge marks.
Oh.
Or it'd burn them. No, it's 4. You're right. It's 4.
I thought it was 4, yeah.
Was it easier to get? No, it wasn't easier, but and you can get pledge marks from, you can get up to 3 in a match, 20 event points, looting a hunter, or killing a boss. Those are banishing a boss. You don't have to kill it. Those were the ways you get your little pledge boys. Those lads get you neat buffs. They all burned away. They all stopped working if you didn't have your pledge marks last event.
That's true. Yeah. If you didn't have the pledge marks active on your character, then they just they didn't go away out of your traits. Like, you still had the trait. It's just that trait would be disabled while you didn't have the marks needed to power them.
And the big one that the defining trait of the Inferno event was not Inferno trait. It was not the Lunar trait. The 2 big story ones. It was Grounded, because the first one, requiring a mere 1 pledge mark, meaning you avoided everybody and you farmed a couple points until you got 20, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Was Death Cheat, and then anytime you die, you keep the hunter.
Yeah.
And so for this one, they did the same idea, where we have Grounded, Primal, and what's Mariner called? Is Smuggler?
It's Smuggler.
I call it Mariner because that's their first trait. And Smuggler, and each one has 2. And what it is now is the first trait is permanent. It still requires 1 pledge mark. You pledge to your thing, or you pre-pledged. You buy your perk. You have it forever. Happy doodah. And let's discuss those for a second.
Okay.
We actually, no, I want to get through all this and then we'll come back to that, because I feel like you have to talk about both traits, and then you can get a second trait from your line, from your pledge,
from your pact.
For 2. Yeah, from your pact. So Grounded has 2, Mariner has 2, Smuggler has 2, and not Lunar has 2. Primal.
Not Lunar. Primal, yes.
Yeah. And then everybody has access to the 3rd trait of Death Cheat. Right. But here's the catch.
Because it was so popular.
Yeah.
Previously.
And the problem was it breaks whatever pact it's in is the one everybody wants to go. Right. And it was also too cheap. So they made it, it now costs 3. And so you have 1, 2, 3, right? Your first 2 are for your pact. Your third one is for death cheat, and they're 1, 2,
And
3,
anyone
nice,
can
nice
get
and
it.
sending. And the second 2, if they burn upon use, kind of. The weird one.
That's the
So
theory, anyway.
yeah, so like let's walk up Primal, because I really love Primal.
Okay,
Primal
same.
is you spend 1, you commit to it, and then you have 75-meter boss whisper mechanic, right?
Right.
It turns
For
orange when
players.
somebody's from players if you're within 75 meters. It helps with ambushes. The amount of times though, it's also a great comedy device of going, hey guys, there's somebody in Primal, and then getting headshot is freaking
Oh, that's
comedy gold.
amazing. I love that.
It's or going, yeah, I think it's red, and then somebody going, yeah, the clue's red too, and then just seeing something like
Oh no.
it's hilarious. So that's
Yeah.
the first one. The second one then is the one that burns, and that is relentless. And so it's the first time you're down. This is actually from Lunar, the Lunar pack. The
Right.
first time you're downed, then next time I think it actually triggers when you get stood up, which is an interest. We'll talk about why that's, because that sheet is relevant there. Because if you die and go back to the menu, then you still lose the bow, but you keep relentless. But if you get picked up, then you don't lose the bow, and relentless burns.
Right.
But yeah, basically, if you get downed, you don't lose your trait bow, or not your trait bow.
Although relentless
your health
is
bow.
a little bugged because it also won't burn sometimes. I've noticed.
Yeah, I think it doesn't. I think what happens is if you die once and get sent back to the menu, it doesn't burn, but you lose the health bar. I think that's what the bug is. I'll have to double check it.
Well, no, because I've not lost the health bar and still kept it, but if I noticed that if I die twice, I definitely lose it.
Oh yeah, so okay, so if
I go down twice.
Here's the weird thing with relentless: if you die, get picked up, your health bar stays, you keep the trait.
Mm-hmm.
Trait removal is triggered at the end of match.
Right.
So if you go to the end of match, it will go away, but you can then repurchase it after being downed once and keep it. It is actually working as intended. But
that's very interesting, because I've not lost it before and not gone back to get it again.
I mean, it might be occasionally glitched, but my interactions have been correct. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'll have to pay better attention.
The third one is definitely not working as intended, and it is death cheat. Now, the nice thing is this hasn't completely broken the event like the last one, because for 2 reasons I feel like it's not broken the event. The first one being everybody has access to it. Well, first of all, the reason it's broken is it doesn't burn. You get that cheat, and 90% of the time it doesn't burn like it's supposed to. There's something to it that like sometimes it's burning for people and sometimes it's not. But
yeah,
90% of the time you're fine. Like I've lost some hunters with that cheat, but it's been like that has not been working at it as intended. Is not the common denominator.
Right. Yeah.
And so it is. You get to keep it forever. So once you get there, it's really nice for events, because then what's basically been happening with me is I have been buying all my generalist perks.
Mm-hmm.
So Doctor, Frontiersman, Pack Mule, Necro, blah 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 blah. And I'm not buying any specialist perks. So like no Iron Megs, Iron Sharpshooter, Sniper Scopes, none of that.
Curious
and
about
then
this.
Because I've been getting my packed perks, because I like the packed perks so much.
Right.
So I have to leave. So like when you have Doctor, Necro, Physician, Pack Mule, Quartermaster, blah 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 blah. And then a lot of times like I only have one, so like occasionally I'll get Iron Sharpshooter if I have enough perks to respin for it. But a lot of times like I just won't get it because you're filling up 2 of your other slots with packed traits, and then you're filling up another one with signee.
Right.
So like that's 4 of my traits gone effectively.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that's another way of keeping, even though death cheats just is honestly probably more prevalent this event than it was last event, it feels less heinous because
there's another reason why it's less heinous, but I'm curious if you've experienced it or not.
Because it doesn't feel like it's not like every single person has fanning ever. It's like 50% have fanning, and it's annoying.
I've actually been running fanning more lately, but that's beside the point.
The problem with fanning for me is Quartermaster.
I just don't take Quartermaster.
I love Quartermaster loadouts. Like the big one for me is Springy Bleed has been So,
Oh
like
yeah, the medium dum dum is insane.
yeah, the medium ammo buffs of Centennial Shorty and Springy Blade are a nice 1-2 punch.
We should probably
But you didn't
mention.
mention the drilling portal. Yes, you're correct. I did not.
Well, we'll get into that in a second. We should also mention that while this update is a event, it's also a straight up update. That just core mechanics have changed, like the dum dum ammo on medium.
It goes intense bleed now.
And incendiary ammo on anything that, as long as you're in effective range, which makes soft skin better. Like, there's a lot of changes that we need to go over that are not event related.
I want to go on the record as to say neither one of us were right with our predictions for incendiary, because we both had predictions last thing, and I feel like we were both right. And I feel like I feel like I would have been completely correct, and it would have been awful to play against forever if they hadn't updated the prices. But updating the prices, I feel like kept it from
being too bad.
Except Martini and Sparks Incendiary is still freaking bonkers, everybody, and you should be playing it. 40 meter Incendiary is kind of insane. It's also apparently glitched right now, where like sometimes people don't get that on. Yeah, apparently that's a big part of why we haven't been seeing it a ton too.
Well, I also wonder if a lot of people are taking soft skin, because I mean, soft skin is supposed to stop that.
Yeah, the other thing is rain just doesn't let you burn.
That's another thing too. Yeah, heavy rain.
People are kitting out their hunters for both, so you know. But yeah, I like all that. The next pact, because we still haven't gone through them all, is we're gonna go through Grounded next, because I think Grounded is the
everyone still knows Grounded from the last one, so
yeah, I think it's the next best, and it's my least favorite easily. The next, so it's one perk point. Its permanent one is screw AI. I came here to play PvP. AI can't see me anymore. It's their old full pick point one, and I think it's really funny that they just flipped around it in Death Sheet. Like, it shows how it shows how busted the last event was. But I think it's pretty balanced. I think Grounded's really good. The highlight of it being, we caught a solo at a extract, and I shot him, gave him bleed, and he managed to run away because the AI just ignored him. So he ran all the way across the map with Greyhound and Shadow, and we just couldn't catch him because, like, AI.
Right, AI is stopping you.
Yeah, and it was like, wow, that's really good. It's really nice. But the one that really slaps with Grounded is its burn trait is hello. So you've been down 4 times in a fight. Your buddy's been down 4 times in a fight. You don't have bounty. The bounty's been banished halfway across the map. It's all over. But you have a stick of dynamite and there's a meat man. Just maybe you can yeet that stick, blow up the meat man, and then like pick up the clue serpent style, and suddenly you have a banish. Suddenly that Sparks, you can push them.
Buff.
They don't know that you have full health. So you run at them, they hit you with the Sparks in the body, tilt because why isn't he dead? And then you stab him with your knuckle knife. Or your heavy knife if you're Chad. Hashtag heavy knife crew. But
apparently you converted it was either Kingless or Rat. I think it was Kingless. And using a heavy knife.
Heck yes.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was Kingless.
You've joined.
He's one of our podcast listeners.
I think my favorite was I also converted a Psycho Ghost for a day, and he's like, "This isn't good, but this is fun. I like heavy knife." I'm like, "Yay!"
Okay.
But yeah, heavy knife's great. Anyway, but you basically trigger the restoration. You get all your health bars back, all that good stuff, and it's really nice. It does it for everybody in your crew, which we're going to get to in a second because that's really relevant. Because the nice thing is, if you noticed about these two, Relentless and Restoration, I don't know what the perk's actually called.
Remedy.
Remedy. Plus having Shadow and what's the first one for Instinct? Like having Instinct on one hunter for your group, or for your duo or your trio, and then Remedy on another one. It's really freaking
great
good
combo. Yeah.
Ambush is really hard to happen.
I've actually been of the opinion that especially if you're playing trios, each person should take a different one, because in a way they help.
I think one person should have. I think at least one person should have Grounded. One person should have Primal.
Well, sure, right, because the other one
Yeah.
is more of a personal benefit, but still,
It
like, I
it
think it makes them a
the
good stand your ground
yes.
player.
I don't think it's as needed as the other ones though.
Oh no, it's not.
The other thing though is I've noticed this one seems. I've looked at the pause and stuff, and so like I saw one from Home Wheel, I think, which shout out to Home Wheel. If you enjoy like the crunchy number things we have on here, he's got some really good like just number crunching and how do guns work.
Okay,
So
I
go
actually didn't know
check
that.
out. Yeah, go check him out. He's really neat. He does some like a lot of, especially it's him. There's another person whose name escapes me. I'll plug him next cast or in comments or something if I find him.
Okay,
Who they're just like, hey, here's how crap works. And it's like, oh wow, thank you.
nice. Okay,
But he did one, and it was 40% went grounded, 40 I think like 30% went primal, and then like 20% went smuggler, which is like from a
Hmm.
YouTube poll, that's a pretty good margin of error, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so I really like that people gravitate towards them because I gravitated super hard towards primal. Instinct's
Oh,
so
me
good.
too. Me too.
I have since become a ball dipper. I've joined the smugglers.
Okay.
Join us in marinating yourself. It's amazing going, excuse me, one moment, sir, who just shot me. I will return shortly after this
Yeah.
dunking. And then just leave and then just dunk yourself and then come back and be like, hello, I've returned.
I've
Bigger.
returned full health.
It has killed me more times than I can count too. Like there've been many times where like I just stand in water and they just can't kill me.
Right,
It's
because
just
you get
it's
because
just
it just keeps
freaking
healing
hilarious.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I fought somebody with a Bornheim. They were at Reynard, like shooting down at me from the thing, and I legitimately just stood and just shot him with long ammo, like just doing a slight wiggle in the water, and then tag me, tag me, tag me. Oh, okay, I'm back to 100. Tag me, tag me. Yeah, like it was great.
Wow. I
The
hate you.
problem was incendiary and bleed. Stop it. And so then his
Okay.
buddy tagged me with incendiary and went,
Well,
oh frick, I'm in the middle of water.
Wouldn't poison also stop it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the special ammos, if you can proc them, stop it.
Right.
But yeah, it's so Mariner's first trait was like Smuggler's first trait is Mariner. If you're in water or heavy water, you heal quick. Heavy rain, you heal kind of slowly. You can
It
buff
stacks
it with vigor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sweet. It's really funny. I It's very situationally good. I don't know if it's worth taking over the other ones. It's like I'll take it if like my one buddy has it's like I'm going for Remedy and the other buddy's going I'm going Primal. I'll go maybe I'll
Maybe I'll
go
play around
there."
with some marinara.
I
Yeah.
also I really like the way Wood Helmsman's like first person view with like the army uniform. So I've been playing that pretty hard.
I haven't actually seen that.
Yeah,
We'll get into it in a minute, but that's
he's
actually my least favorite skin in this event.
he's okay. You're not just stupid. You're wrong.
Well, there's a reason for
I,
it. It's stupid, but there's a reason.
I mixed it around. The cage. Look, here's the thing. I don't like the appear. Like the skin is, but like the first person view is pretty great.
Okay, I'll have to play him again just to see that because I don't
But
remember.
my issue with Mariner with the smuggler trait is I don't like the second one.
The second one
because it's a burn trait.
Is the worst one out of all of them in my opinion.
It's
called Gunrunner.
It's a different play style. So what it is anytime. Well, here's the issue with it. The reason I buy Gunrunner is Gunrunner. Anytime you pick up an ammo box, you get 2 more shots for all your ammo. So like long ammo now picks up 4, shotguns now pick up 4. It's really nice.
Well, we also need to mention just really quick. We can go into it if you want later, but they did an ammo rework as well with this update.
Yeah.
So the ammo rework made it harder to reload. So this trait helps with that, but not harder to reload. Sorry,
true. You get
less
back. Most guns, especially long ammo, get 2. It's based off of what ammo type. So from an ammo box, compact gets 8, medium gets 6, long gets 2.
I had a graphic for this at one point that we could reference, but I don't know where I put it.
I think I know long ammo's 2. I think medium is 6, and my guess is long ammo's compact ammo's at like 8 or 10. I'm not actually sure. But so if I play a lot of like shotguns and like I'm playing a lot of shotguns, medium and long ammo. I've not been playing much compact like at all, so Gunrunner is freaking great. The problem with it is it's a burn trait, and you're like, but so wait, do you pick up ammo and it burns immediately? That seems really awful. Oh, you can do that as much as you want. But the moment you exit a match with a contraband item, it's no longer contraband. Rad, and you lose the trait.
Yeah.
Which is understandable, but it's really annoying if like you swap weapons at like extract because you're out of ammo and then just forget to grab back and you're like, great, this Winfield C is now thanks.
Yes, the cheapest gun in the game is now my
Yeah, and it's really annoying to like have to go get it again, but with Death Cheat right now it's not bad because Death Cheat's glitched, so you don't have to rebuy that. You don't have to rebuy the
Often,
first
yeah.
one. So like, and it's not a make it a use it. It's not like the pack's awful without it. Like you go smuggler for Mariner, not for Gunrunner. So
Yeah.
like not having and have to go rebuy it every couple matches isn't the end of the world. But yeah, so those are the three, and I feel like they've done a much better job of balancing them. Like I mentioned, with
I
like,
agree.
and I think what we talked about, where there's an advantage to diversifying your group. I think that helps a buttload.
Yes.
Like if they
100%.
announced these are the packs from here on out, I'd be like, cool, nice.
I have a feeling that Grounded will always be an option, while the other two, one will be story related, and the other one will be like something like Primal or Lunar, where it's less story related.
I think,
but
yeah,
you know,
because Grounded is like we
it's
help
neutral.
the land.
Grounded
Yeah,
is just
like,
neutral.
Well, Grounded is just
feeling.
like we like nature not being awful. So like if
balance,
people
yeah.
if people like are screwing with it, they're like bad. Just
Right.
get the squirt bottle, and then Mariner's like, yay, thank you, squirt bottle.
Bitter apple spray.
Yeah, but
Joke's on you. I like sour.
really like that. I really like that balancing. Okay, last thing, new guns.
The guns.
Upper mat. It's a worse uppercut with a shotgun.
And it's medium slot.
Yeah, it's a medium slot, lower damage. It doesn't hit the magic 125 mark of being able to down once downed hunters, especially now that you can for free rework your health rate. So like if you're playing with the revive thing, you almost always have a small bear on the end if you remember to change it. So like that makes the upper mat hurt really bad. Taking it, not playing against it,
Right.
and you didn't get to live. It still, I think it still has pistol drop off at starting at 20 meters. Not
okay.
It's okay. Here's the thing.
What was the uppercuts drop off?
It's a pistol, 20 meters.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the thing though. If I have a 2 slot, if I have a 1 slot, I'm taking Spike's pistol for budget or uppercut because it's really good. And then I survive that match. Why would I then spend another $440 to buy an upper mat? Probably with slugs if I'm trying to be sweaty. Plus quartermaster for 3 extra shots in the chamber and lower damage, slightly higher muzzle velocity.
Yeah.
If I'm buying quartermaster for it, I'm taking a no-res. A whiz is cheaper. How the frick is a no-res cheaper than a upper mat?
That's a good point. Yeah, it's probably because the shotgun option of being able to, if you took Dragon's Breath to burn people or whatever.
Let's be honest though, like every other update is, why do I stop playing the OBS? The OBS is so good.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
That's the new gun. It's fine. It's not good because of the price. The reason I play upper mat right now, do you know? Okay, let's see if you can guess the one reason I'm playing the upper mat. I guess there's 2. Oh, I lied.
To learn it? I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I have no idea.
So there are 2 reasons. One is I'm playing Spikes with poison, and I want poison ammo.
Okay.
Option 2 is I got the challenge for my challenges for the event that I need to get pistol headshots, and so I'm taking an upper mat.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm taking an upper mat.
Yeah.
That's it, folks.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
It's not terrible, but and then we have the drilling, which they really like to introduce stuff too expensive. The Centennial, the bow, throwing axes. It's a 2-shot medium ammo rifle. You can get bleed ammo. You should get bleed ammo. Bleed ammo makes it. With bleed ammo, it's like $560.
It makes it so powerful.
We think that the consensus among the community is that the drilling is currently glitched. That
Oh, really?
Yes, the bleed ammo has the same muzzle velocity as the FMJ ammo, which is probably not correct.
Interesting.
That's why it brings it down to like 370, which is
So that
not
means it's
bad.
actually more powerful if it's fixed than not.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
It's
great.
still not fire. It's still not
If you
fire
can't tell,
hours.
I'm not a fan of the drilling. Not like using it, but when it's used against me, it like everyone seems to be able to land their hits with that damn gun. It's so annoying.
It's a lot of feels bad, and I think it's because there's not like a good point to push it. It's weird because like I always feel like it's a bad time to be pushed when I'm playing it, and I always feel like it's a bad time to push when playing against it.
Right.
The takeaway is Baldy sucks with the drilling.
Same. Then again, I haven't really used it that much, to be honest with you.
And then you could get slugs if you're sweaty, penny if you're memeing or AIing, and then flechette if you're cool.
Or if you're buckshot, because that's a normal shotgun.
I'm talking special ammo. You could be cool with buckshot too. I accept you. I accept you as you are.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe it might be a hot take. I don't know. Leave a comment if it is or isn't. But I
mean, I feel like
slugs. I cannot stand them. I cannot stand slugs in this game.
It's gonna be really funny to me because I've planned the next podcast. Everybody, that's kind of my job here. And the next podcast is going to be the goal of it is not going to be, but Baldy defending slugs will unfortunately be a part of the next podcast.
Oh no!
So, well, you know what part of it is. You know what part of it is. You know
yeah.
You know exactly what part of the podcast it's going to be. But am I forgetting any guns? Oh,
technically,
the Swifty Army.
The Swift Army and technically the Slate Riposte.
Oh yeah, the Slate Riposte is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing: I'm not really playing any of the new guns a ton because I don't.
I'm not either.
I don't really love any of them, and a lot of times when I play them, I play them to mastery in the Book of Weapons, and then that decides like
what you play next.
Because I play them a bunch, and it's kind of the thing of by the time you get to the end of that, you have either gotten the mastery through PvP and enjoyed it, or you have gotten it from like stabbing meatheads, right?
Right. Yeah.
And if I get to the end and it's been a stabbing meatheads, I'm kind of done with it. And they, for some flipping reason, they don't add in the Book of Weapons mastery until after the event of introduction.
That's
so like I've been getting
goofy, yeah.
So I've been getting Centennial Shorty mastery this one.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Which, by the way, Spikes, Incendiary, or Poison, depending on what you're playing, or both if you're a spicy lad. And then Centennial Shorty is. It's slaps.
It's a combo.
I've been enjoying.
I've been annoying friends in the shooting range with Centennial Silent Shorty with Poison.
I can't. The issue with me for that is it's not that slow of a muzzle velocity. I can't hit crap with it. I think it's because I played the Shorty pretty hard before I ever even touched the silenced, and I think I just aim it and I go, "This is a Shorty." And I just can't adjust it.
And you just can't adjust. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when you play Winnie, like the first time you play Winnie with high velocity, you're just like, why am I hitting anything? I'm bleeding it, right? Oh, right, bleeding. Why am I doing that?
Yeah. That was me with Spitzer the other night. I was playing Spitzer. I don't really play Spitzer that often, but I was playing it with the Berthy, and I know it's supposed to be a point and click adventure with Spitzer, but I keep forgetting, and I keep trying to lead, and I'm like, that should have hit, but it didn't. I'm mad at myself.
And you go for body shots, and you're like, why isn't this killing? All right, Spitzer.
Yeah. There's two other things, weapon related, that I think are worth mentioning since they're new.
Weapon charms.
No.
There's a good one at the end with the compass.
Yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. There's a new bomb lance weapon ammo type.
Yeah. You can play frag lance and frag arrows.
Waxed
frag yourself. Yeah.
Waxed frag charge. So it's meant to be for swamp puppy.
Because it's Rotjaw, and you can role play as a little bayou dude. You get like a little deckhand. You give him a little lance with the harpoon. And then you're like, I'm hunting gators.
I'm hunting gators, Mom. Yeah, and then the other weapon, new weapon. Do you know what it is? Do you remember? It's actually my favorite one. I can't lie.
Is it the orange juice launcher, right?
No, it's not
No,
an ammo
that's the
type. This
thing.
is an actual weapon.
Well, no, there's a new ammo type. You can orange juice.
Oh,
and
you know what? I did
crossbow,
forget about that. Yep.
and it
yep.
does
That
like what. Now, there's been false information. I think I'm not sure
okay.
because people have been saying it doesn't do any damage. I think that's a lie.
I think it's a lie too.
I
I think as long as you hit them, it will do a little bit of damage.
I
But
think it
that's
does
not the
1 point of
purpose.
I think it does 1 point of damage, and the only reason I think that is because it gives a hit marker.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it gives a hit marker.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know if it does. It give it for splash because I know it gives it for hit.
It doesn't give it for splash. No.
So I think if you hit them with it, it gives you that sweet 1 point of damage. But otherwise, I think it just hellfires 25.
I had a lot of fun with this thing because I
You can
unlocked
do
it.
bodies with it. Yeah.
I unlocked it quick.
What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting?
Hold on, I unlocked that quick, and then we went into a with some friends went into a shooting range. And I didn't tell them I had it.
Yes.
So we were playing like probably 2-3 minutes in, and then I whipped that out. And I just start bombing them with the dragon bolt. They hated me.
I played dragons with bomblands, hand dragon bolt. That okay? If anybody hears that and goes, "That's really funny. I should play that." Don't. it's really bad. The dragon bolt's fine because, not the dragon bolt. The dragon's breath on the bomblands is actually, from my experience at least, it's been consistent in actually setting people on fire.
Yeah.
The issue is now just plain incendiary ammo. So
yeah.
But what am I forgetting?
You're forgetting the railroad hammer.
Oh
my freaking favorite. I love taking melee weapons in now.
Here's the thing.
I'm still a machete is better than all of them, but the hammer is so much fun.
The tier list goes bomb lance because it's both the best and the funniest, and then followed by combat axe because it's the funniest,
Okay.
and then you get cavalry saber because it's the second best, and then you get literally any tool, and then you get the railroad hammer. I hate the railroad hammer.
Well, where's the machete on that list?
Oh, the machete's right above the railroad hammer. Sorry.
Okay.
The railroad hammer tilts me because like I whack people with it, and they just don't care. And I'm like, do you have any idea how much work I put to get here to slap you
with this?
To slap you with this hammer, and you have the audacity to just
not die,
headshot me? Like, at least with the shovel, I get a bonk noise.
Right. At least I can laugh a little bit with the shovel.
Give me the bonk noise at least. Yeah. Like the amount of people I've killed because I've been slapped with a railroad hammer is, I think, honestly in the double digits. Because they hit me with the railroad hammer, and then I just go, neat, and then I stab them. Yeah. My one slot tool knife. Oh, let's be honest, the heavy knife. Should not be beating your railroad hammer, but it does.
Shouldn't be. Yeah. Well, it all comes down to how it's swung, in my opinion.
It's not about the size of your hammer, but how you use it.
It's exactly. No, really. That's partly why I personally put the machete at the top of the list. It is the best melee weapon in the game.
Drake, how do you feel about, okay, well, slow you roll. How do you feel? First of all, Conduit is your best friend. I freaking love that trait now. It's so good after the buff. But how do you feel about its buff? It like got like a little damage buff and I think always does intense bleed now, right?
Well, you talking about the machete?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does 150 damage to chest now.
Yeah.
It one-shots people with chest.
Wait,
no,
is that light?
It's still heavy. It's still heavy.
Okay, I was gonna say, that's light.
But the heavy attack
when I need to play it.
The heavy attack still doesn't consume much stamina, so it's still worth doing. Yeah. It's so good. I love the machete.
Drake, you like the Centennial Trauma, right?
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Are you aware that you were gone? No, I was playing Mastery for it, and like in one match, legitimately, I had like 4 swings where just like I dropped and hit somebody and they just stepped out of range. I had one person literally duck and dodge it. Like
it does require a bit of precision and
it tilts. It's not even that they were like bad. Like a couple of them were bad swings and just like felt like they should have hit. But like a couple of them were like, "What do you mean you can duck and dodge me? Excuse me, sir."
I mean, I've seen clips of people where they slowed down the clip of where they swung the machete heavy attack, so it's left to right horizontal, in the middle of the screen.
Oh yeah, machete's fine.
And they swung at someone, but like they ducked, and you could see in the slow-mo version of it that like the hit across the wall behind or over their head of where it was doing the damage across the wall. So it's like, I mean, their hitboxes are accurate enough where you got to swing it right and be looking at the right spot.
Here's the thing with heavy knife and machete. Heavy knife and machete, if you hit like a wall on either side, sometimes that will count as your tag and it won't actually damage the hunter.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
As a Chad heavy knife enjoyer, the amount of times now it's not common enough that I think it's actually an issue, but like sometimes like I'll slap a gun like 4 times because it's just like a door would just catch it and just like, please, for the love of God, just hit the grunt. I don't want to hit the door, please. So
you know what?
There's one more.
Go ahead.
There's one more thing for the event. We've touched on it. I've evolved as a critic.
A critic. Tell me how.
There's a shout out to him. That's a meme if anybody knows that out there. But when I started to hunt, I couldn't kill nobody. Right? I just died.
Right. Yeah.
I played strictly Romero Sticky Bomb. And my job was to kill the boss and hopefully trade. Right.
Right.
That's my job. And people are like, why don't you play different shotgun? I'm like, I need the range advantage over literally anybody else. So that was my job. And then I've evolved and I'm like, Chad Sparks enjoy, Chad Winfield enjoy, gone through all of that, blah blah blah. A couple thousand errors. I enjoy whatever now. And then they did it to me. Because the joke is I'm the loot goblin of the group. Like I will loot in the middle of a fight. I will die for loot.
Oh, I feel that. Yeah.
Like all that. Drake's played with me. He knows this.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm kind of the same, at least in some cases. Depends.
I've evolved.
Okay, how so?
I no longer. My first words are not, I'm going to the resupply at a new match. My words are now, I am the resupply.
Oh, yeah.
So I no longer bring stamp shots because of conduit. And so now when I play in a group, my loadout is most often deployable medkit, lunchbox, ammo box.
Wow.
Because it's hilarious to just go, all right, guys, I've been shot. Behind this hill is now a resupply. Enjoy. Whoever gets there.
And a health kit.
Yeah. Legitimately, I'll just go ammo box, health box, med kit, go.
That's amazing.
The highlight of it was I got solo versus trioed, right? It was just me versus them. Mm-hmm. I put down 2 med kits, necroed both my teammates, used 1 med kit charge on myself, killed both my teammates up to 4. And had a full heal at our disposal behind cover in the span of maybe 10 seconds.
Right.
We went from 1v3 to everybody full HP and stuff because we wouldn't listen, ready to roll.
Right.
And that was the moment I was like, all right, this is $35 for a medkit. Let's go, guys.
That's awesome.
Guys, remind you about the medkit. It's not $35. It's not a full heal for you for half the price of a big vit shot. It's for your teammate too.
Right. It's a deployable health kit that you can find in the world. You can carry that around, drop it, and your teammates can use it.
The really nice one.
I mean, to be fair, enemies I think can use it too, but yeah.
Yeah, they can. But typically you put in drawn out range fights.
Right.
The really nice thing is you necro, you heal, and then you let your teammate heal.
Right.
If for some reason they don't have resilience.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really nice. I resilience heals you to full because they really went, resilience needs a buff.
Yeah,
I love the last update was resilience is the second most taken perk in the game. It was or something ludicrous like that. Where it was pack when they hit Pack Mule Doctor Fanning,
something like that. Yeah.
And then Lightfoot, and then this update they're well, now that we made it 3 points, it's time to give it a buff. Look, being able to die, relentless yourself up with resilience 400 to be able to pop back up with 150 HP when you hear that team that downed you get into another engagement, it's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Look, I don't think solos are a problem, except when they do effing that. That is especially because that's primal, right? You instinct, so then you can ambush and not get ambushed as easily, and then you can just go boop.
Yep.
Yeah. But overall, I feel like this update has been much more enjoyable than the last one, despite my issues with a couple things.
I've very much enjoyed this event.
Yeah, the big thing being event points suck in this one. You get them so much slower.
So I understand. So yeah, I would say my biggest complaint with this event, I personally don't care, like, because I do challenges. I like doing the challenges. I think it's fun. But listen,
I agree.
The challenges is the best way to get points in this, and it's only the weekly. So once you're done with the weekly, you're just kind of grinding points, and it's really slow. So I get that. But I like doing the challenges.
I do too. But
for the people who don't, though, I feel them. You know what I mean? Like, I understand you don't like doing challenges, so you're not going to get those points that fast.
I think it's after the weekly. You should still get the challenge. You should still get something for the challenges, like 10 event points per thing or something.
Right,
because it's really annoying to have these challenges that's like, you should be doing these challenges, and they give you literally nothing.
Yeah, I agree. They should give you something for it, something small.
Because when you finish your weekly challenges, it's like, cool, you're done. And then you log back in. It's like, hey, here are your challenges. You're like, but these mean nothing. So like I log in and I see, oh, I should be playing Romero, and it's like, no, there's no point.
You don't get anything for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. But the other thing is, I like it because it speeds it up. But it's the thing of they expect you to do it, and so it's very much the thing of, I feel like if you miss a week or something, because you're the everyman who works a job and has a life and like a wife or a husband and 17 kids and gambling addiction. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. The important things.
Yeah. The big three things you should get: significant other, 17 kids, and a gambling addiction.
Right.
Do not do that, folks. Yeah.
The gambling addiction.
I feel like
the kids is fine.
Yeah, the gambling addiction's fine. Yeah, don't right, we're making it worse. Anyway, but like, yeah, I feel like it's the thing of, I agree with you. I think the other thing that annoys me is only having one respin for the challenges gets really annoying, especially when you get one that you just don't want to do that day. Like, it's the same thing where, like, they've definitely expanded it, but like sometimes it's not as bad as the one during, I think it was Inferno, where we kept getting Spitzer headshots from like 250 meters or something. Like, it was like headshots from 250 meters of Spitzer damage, and then before that, the one that will forever live in my memory of who in the goddamn frick thought this was a good idea was get kills with the ammo box.
Oh yes, I remember that one. Yep.
Which was just like,
you know what I think that came from? Because right before I saw that challenge, or whatever it was, the daily, they had a video that they released where it was just like a engagement video or something, where it was like, dumb ways to die in Hunt Showdown, or they do the stupid song. One of them was dying by ammo box, and then I saw that in the game, and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, like, one
this
of my
has just been a theme with them.
One of my favorite things was during the event. Was this? I think this was Light the Shadows. Don't quote me on that. But the one where you could drop boxes and give like everybody in the lobby like a little doodad, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. It's where
little ammo boxes. Yeah.
Yes.
Like little tasks.
Yeah, you would drop it and it would just give the entire lobby a buff of points or something.
Well, depending on which one, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
Which, by the way, I freaking love that idea, and they should bring those back and just have them be like $100 and smaller prizes or something. That's really fun.
Yeah, I actually noticed too that they don't have anything that you can buy in any capacity to increase your rate, your gain rate.
It is only levels.
Yep.
Which I will say I do appreciate. Thank God they didn't do the Serpent Moon tier list, which like the first one's 200 XP, the second one's 350 XP, and you're like, oh no, I gotta do math. They're all 1,000. They're all 1,000.
They're all 1,000 across the board.
They're nice to us.
On that note, I did the math a second ago with the challenges. It's the challenges is the weekly, right? You get it refreshes one every week. You get 7 levels from it. Like, once you complete it, by the time you're done with it, you've gained 7 levels from that alone. So not including what you earn in a match, you get 7 levels from just the challenges.
So, let's see. Let's say somebody's missed the entire event up until now. Right?
I think I've completed the challenges every time so far.
If you did just the challenges, you would get up to. That's actually a really easy way to look at it. So we have 5 weeks left. Each week gives you, because it's weekly challenges, gives you 7 levels. So you can get 35 levels starting tomorrow, today, whenever the challenges refresh. So in 1 hour
Soon.
and 5 minutes, you can get 35 levels, which I think is good, but it is a bit
which is interesting because there's
there's
35 days left on the event.
I think they're really, really close to making challenges really, really good. I think they just need to figure out a better reshuffle system. Because the reshuffle system is just a little bit annoying to me right now.
I would be okay if they did the how you reshuffle your roster, or excuse me, your recruitment.
100, just 100.
Yeah, so you get one free
monies.
one a day, but then it's $100 after that, up to a max of 500 per reshuffle until the day resets. Then you get that free one back.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Or just because it's just the thing of reshuffling Dragon's Breath into and some of them ain't even awful, but one of them is. The one that's really annoying me is so Dragon's Breath is a little bit annoying because I don't always really want to play Dragon's Breath, especially not without yeah, but it's hard to get specifically damage with it.
Right, it is.
And so if I'm not playing trios with people willing to trio up Dragon's Breath with me, I'm I don't want to do this. One of them is this is gonna be a weird one. I really hate the Frag Bomb one. Because I want to be able to bring my low resupply, or I want to be able to bring small I just don't. Ever since they made Frag Bombs freaking $110, I just don't play them.
Yeah, fair. I can see that.
They're good, and I get the kills. It's frustrating to go. I should go for a consumable kill here because it's the right play, but because I've got a quest for it, and then you die, and then you lose the $220 from bringing 2 Frag Bombs to try and get your quest.
Right.
It's my same complaint from before, where some of them are still kind of money sink. Or time sink.
Yeah, I think that would be solved with our reshuffle idea, or with any reshuffle.
Yeah,
fix.
Honestly, I feel what they should do is just wait the get kills with rifles or headshots with rifles or stuff like that a little bit more. Just wait them a little bit more,
right,
and then make them respin. It's the thing of I feel like it sounds like we're complaining, but I feel like this is my favorite iteration.
This is the best I think they've done so far.
Yes, I feel like this is the best complete, with the exception. This is still a complaint I have, with the exception of none of the unlocks being meaningful towards progression. I feel like this. So the Shadows was great.
Yes.
I really love the stupid thing of being able to kill hives with a bow or emeralds with throwing axes. It says something that's the event mechanic I remember after all this time. With the new unlocks, it's just nice.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't know if it's as necessarily feasible. But yeah, I feel like this is the best they've done event in purely mechanics, not necessarily in how they've implemented it with points balancing and stuff.
Right.
But I feel like this has been okay. Question: is it safe to say this is the best event?
I would say it's on par with Light the Shadow in terms of, because Light the Shadow had so much good going for it.
The issue
but this one does too.
I feel like it's this and Light the Shadow now, right?
Yeah.
Because Light the Shadow had the AI things and it had the 2 paths, which were really cool.
Hey, Crytek, there's a theme here.
But the issue with it was getting points got really repetitive, and there wasn't really anything. It was one of the early events where the first Halloween one was just do you remember that first? Did you play during the first Halloween one?
I don't actually think I did.
It was a week or two, and it was a weird event because it was all just the Smash Pumpkins and stuff.
Oh no, pumpkins! But, I do remember the pumpkins. I think I did play that.
Well, they brought it back the second year, but it was just you could do it stupid
what
fast
was the hunter?
if you really farmed it. Oh God,
was it Headsman?
There wasn't one.
There wasn't one. Because I don't remember if I did or not. Then
it was Vertebrae, the Stabberly, the.
Oh, I want to say I did play it during that. Then
the Heavy Knife, and then something else, and then for the second Halloween event, they brought them all back, and you could either buy them or earn them or something like that. Right. I didn't remember because I had them.
Skeleton key and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, the first event that went super fast. It was 1 or 2 weeks, and it was you could farm the whole thing in a day or two. Just because you could just buy a couple of things and just it was freaking weird. Like looking back at it, you're like, wow. You like, look, we might have some complaints, but Crytek, you done good. You've done improved. Okay,
Yes.
wait. Speaking of not improving though, what the heck? The wax dynamite charges are 1,000 BBs. Fine. They're $3,000 hunters. One of them being 1,500 BBs.
Wait. What are you talking about?
Cardinal Lane. If you want to, Cardinal
Oh,
Lane is
store
1,500
and
BBs if you want to buy the legendary hunter for the.
yeah.
And then the wax dynamite's 1,000, and then the other one, which I kind of was gonna get because I kind of like the Fang shooter, but I'm not paying 1,200 BBs for a hunter.
Yeah, I'm just. I mean, it is an event exclusive, so I'm just gonna miss out.
Shut your face. Yeah, I'm like,
I'm just
missing
gonna
it.
miss out on those. Unfortunately, I hate to say that.
And like, if it was 1,000, maybe, right, for a legendary hunter, maybe. But geez, 1,500.
At this point, I just feel like they're trying to account for inflation.
They've inflated their economy pretty hard.
Well, I mean, like real real life inflation.
I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking through to see if there's anything else we've missed for the event because we're running long.
Yeah, we are running a little long, but that's fine.
I mean, the story stuff. I haven't read any of the story stuff.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention to it yet.
My guess is it's going to be a mixed bag.
So what I was going to say is a minute ago.
I'm reading one right now.
Crytek, I think you're what you need to do is just make sure your events have the word shadows in it now, and we'll praise it because light the shadow, tide of shadows. There's a theme here.
I read some story. It's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
I think I've discovered what it is. I don't like I think the hunt narrative is really weak. Like I don't like a lot of the narrative stuff they do. But like the book of weapons and armaments and stuff, I think those are great.
Like where it's through newspaper clippings type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
notes, diaries.
It's the thing of I'm not saying it's this because it's not this, but when it's the story for the event, it leans more than. I heard somebody put it as I'm 14 and I just opened a DeviantArt, right? I don't like.
Why do I know that so well?
I think that's a bit harsh.
That's
right?
funny, but I know what you're talking about, though.
I see where they're coming from. Yeah. Yeah, I like this event pretty well. There's a lot of little things that they've tweaked. Death cheat being a burn trait, I feel like is a good idea if it works.
That was a good one.
Again, I feel like the other thing of like incentivizing taking a bunch of traits. Like I'm looking at one second, we're only 50 hunters right now. He's Mariner, so I grabbed Gated Legs, and then I've got Doctor, Necro, Pack Mule, Death Cheat, Conduit, Resilient, Signy, Quartermaster, Frontiersman, South Skin, Gunrunner, and then 2 free perks. I feel like that's a pretty good way because like I'm incentivized to not like grab a bunch of the. You can only grab so many traits if you want to get like Signy to boost it and get like play the special fun traits while they're here. Right. So I feel like that's another thing. Do you want any of the traits to stay?
That's a really good question. Because then they can't bring back quote unquote the traits if they keep it, so they'll have to come up with something new. So for the sake of them coming up with something new later, I would want them to keep something. But let's see which one.
You get to keep one trait as a buy trait. What do you buy? What do you keep? You can tweak it slightly to make it work without like the perks and stuff.
Right. I think they could get away with probably Relentless, actually, but make it expensive.
See, my first thought with Relentless though is like, how does it?
Say it again.
What do we just? How do you make it work without burning? Or do you just keep it as a burn trait and you just buy it with pick points?
I would say just make it an expensive one, like probably the most expensive one.
So like make it like 9 perk points and it procs like the first time you die each match.
Honestly, because you collect so many trait points, I would not be opposed if they went above the 10 mark for some of these traits. Like Doctor is so good. Doctor's fine at 9, but like if they did Relentless,
look, Doctor's really good. 9 perk points is every time I buy it, I go, oh my gosh. Like, it's still one of my first purchases, but I'm like,
I mean,
they made it 10.
yes, but
oof.
but that makes you actually sit there and think about what you want to get. You know what I mean? And you
Makes me
can't
feel bad
just,
about it.
like, especially if your first match you just wipe the server and you kill all the mobs, and so you get out with
Yeah.
40 points or whatever, 36 points. You can't just go on a spending spree. You have to, like, if Relentless is in, but it's 12 points, you gotta be like, okay, that's a third of my pool that I've got. So if I get that, then I'm gonna not be
Yeah.
able to buy a bunch of other ones.
So
I kind of
you
want
choose
that.
Relentless. So you choose Relentless with some implementation.
I think Relentless would be all right. Yeah,
Because I think I'm in.
maybe have it only trigger once per match or something like that.
Do you know what my favorite traits from it are, actually?
What's that?
All my favorite traits from it are actually all the 3 1-perk ones. I
I mean,
freaking
I
love
like all the 1-perk ones. Yeah.
Instinct, Mariner, and Shadow are all really fun. I think
Yeah.
Shadow's my least favorite. It's just
Shadow's helpful. That's what that is. It's just helpful.
yeah, it's good. I think Instinct's the best. I think Instinct's the best, and Mariner's my favorite. Shadow's just in that weird point where, like, it's not goofy enough to, like, warrant my love, and it's not
Right.
good enough for me to be like, yes, I want that.
So yeah, I feel like Instinct.
Instinct's so
I
good.
don't know. Yeah, maybe Instinct would be fine as a permanent one,
It's
because
also
you don't know where they are still. It's just they're
yeah,
within 75 meters. Yeah.
yeah. If it gave any sort of direction, heck no, get it out of the game.
Yeah, that would
But
be horrible.
especially with people like camping, can you imagine the misery? Like people camping the boss layer with Instinct and they just being like, oh, they came in from that direction. Let's go.
Right. I kind of feel like
Yeah.
Shadow would need to change so that if the mob gets up to you and they can still hear you, like you're still doing something to where they can hear you, they should still swing at you. So it doesn't make them totally.
I think grunts do, don't they?
No, they don't even swing at you. Dude, you can stand in
So
water with water devils, and the water devils will be on you, but you won't take damage.
Why do they specify they can hear you then? Doesn't matter.
It's because they still get triggered
'cause
by
you can
you
trigger 'em,
running
okay,
by, and
yeah.
that would trigger other hunters to know you're there too. So like,
Yeah,
I think
probably.
I think leave Shadow
Probably
as
not
it
great.
is, but include, if they're right next to you, if they're right on top of you, and you're still making noise, they should just swing toward you. Like,
Yeah, oh no,
that
I
makes
agree.
sense to me.
The one from the previous event that, because when I played it, was just standing right next to an emulator and just being like, "Yo, what's up,
Yo,
man?"
what up? Yeah, you can actually look at your details
so
now.
He's so angry and he can't do anything about it.
He's so mad. Yeah.
But yeah,
Death cheat
I
should never
like
be implemented permanently.
if that cheat was permanent, we'd have issues.
It would be horrible, or it would need to be 15 points.
And how do you feel about it being three pledge marks to get this now?
I'm alright with that.
I feel like
because it makes you pick between that or your 1 and 2 points on the first match.
Take, I feel like it should be 2.
Really?
If it actually burned. With it not burning,
I will actually
being,
respectfully disagree with that one, because I think it's still overpowered, keeping your hunter so often.
Oh, I think it's still. I still think it's really good and stuff. I just my thing with it is I think you should be able to get it once per match if you do well.
You can.
But can I finish?
Oh,
can I freaking finish, Drake?
Go for it. I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, you're fine. I'm just being a butt here. The ones that really annoy me though is like when somebody like clearly spawns at a boss player and then you're like,
oh yeah, okay. And you don't get it, yeah.
And so like that would be what's annoying is like, I guess I can't pay death cheat even if I server wipe. Thanks, cool, yay. And so that's why I'd make it 2. But again, that is if it burned. Right now, without it burning, right now I think it should be 5.
Have you noticed something? No,
I think it should be full without it burning at least. But the issue is the joke was it caps at full, so you can't have 5.
Yeah.
But
have you noticed that the upgrade point posters, envelopes? I call them posters because I think it's funny, but they're envelopes.
Look like posters, yeah.
That's why I call them posters. But the upgrade points are much more rare with this update. It might be with the event. But might be personally, at least, I mean, because I think someone said, I want to say Third said that he's noticed it flipped, where the Bloodline and the other one are more rare, while he sees more upgrade points. But I see it as less upgrade points, more Bloodline.
It
posters.
seemed pretty in line with it for me. I think the reason why it's felt.
Say it again. You cut out.
I'd say it's been about the same for me. The difference is when you have a 50 hunter, you're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think that's why they feel more uncommon. Because instead
That's
of
true. That's true. Because if you're falling
it's
behind people, they're gonna grab it if they're 50.
yeah, and it's not like instead of being ooh, look, points, neat, nice. It's god dang it, no trait points. What do I do? Do I have to sell? Do I have to sell doctor?
Yeah, because if nobody goes in or if nobody grabs remedy, then
Yeah.
and you lose your chunks, and you have yet to get the boss. You're
Well, here's the
down.
other
You go
thing.
into a match with no less than 150 health, and that's rough.
Well, and that's why my hunter has 2 free trade slots, because I want to be able to kill meat men on matches that I do well, and they get like South Skin pitcher and sell them. It just gets
Yes.
whatever. Yeah,
Sell those and get points. Yep.
when that's your plan, and you get a perk you have, you're like, got it, okay, thanks. Or you get like you get like Magpie, and you're like, you mean nothing to me.
You mean, yeah, I can't remove you for free and get something back.
Which, by the way, that and the switching the health bars they're really nice quality of life.
Yes, so good.
It's
Crytek,
really
perfect.
nice to be able to.
Thank you for
It's really
listening.
nice to be able to go. I want to play crossbow, and not have it take 18 seconds to reload. I'll respin physician, because let's be
Yeah.
honest, respinning something like physician or like a 5-point thing to get bolt throwers still hurts, but it's
Oh, yeah.
like.
But you
It's
can
like,
live
hey,
without position.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I can play my Lowdown now at level 1. Thanks. Cool.
Yeah, I agree.
It's nice. Because I think it's like the one thing that's I think could be toxic about is like people have a stupid amount of money, like can just keep buying legendaries until they get a bunch of perk points. But quite honestly,
right.
If you're spending that much money and time, I don't mind if you come into a match with Doctor when you can get Doctor off of a free respin, whatever.
Right.
I guess if you're doing it with Kane, like, look, if you're doing it with Kane, I guess this way you're getting your self gratification, sure, man.
Sure. Yeah. Hopefully you're a 6-star and
Which,
not in
by
our
the way,
lobbies.
this event has taken me to over 100,000. I've reached the mark.
Did you?
Because,
Nice.
yeah, and I realized it's because like I just keep building hunters. I'm like, I could bring a label. I've got 17 labels sitting in my thing. Ooh, look at my teeny.
So I haven't. I took Smuggler once and experienced Marinara, and I was happy. Haven't touched it since. Before the event I saved up because I wasn't really expecting cheat death, and I saved up to around 50K hunt dollars, expecting to spend it all. I'm at 80.5 now.
Yeah.
Just by playing, and I mean, I'm not like skimping on. I'm not doing cheap loadouts, but I'm not doing crazy expensive either. But
I want to have a really quick discussion here, and then we should probably wrap up.
Oh, definitely.
Because I think we should. Which, by the way, I think we should just not cap them at an hour and make editing easier on you. Just be like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Push them. Because I've talked to people like, again, shout out to Hunter. He listens to him on like like shifts of work or drives.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, like more content's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
I mean, the one response we've gotten from someone in a random Spotify question I asked was make them longer. So, yeah.
Oh, cool. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This is odd. Long ammo got a bit of a nerf with the ammo update, right? We talked about it.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions with this. First one is very specific.
Okay.
Do you feel like LaBelle is as good as Mosin now? Because the old advantage of Mosin was you get better resupplies. It was like a big one. So now it's just like kind of Crosshair is kind of the big one. Like Crosshair, and which reload you prefer?
I have always favored the LaBelle over the Mosin. So that may not be a fair question for me to answer.
Do you think it's as good? Because before we were like, yeah, you're like, it's probably worse, but I like it more. Because it's like
definitely
you said, it's like
Yeah. I did use the Mosin recently, and I loved I was doing very well with it. So I'm not sure if they tweaked anything with the Iron Sight, but I was landing hits and doing well. So I liked Mosin. But
it feels like a more fair trade-off now. It's like, do you want the stripper clip for the faster reload, or the 10 shots? And which Iron Sight do you like?
Right.
Whereas before it was like, yeah, Mosin's better.
Yeah. Objectively,
the
yeah,
other one is,
unfortunately.
what would you say then what would you say the best one? Would you say no? I want to save some of this for next week. Do you feel like any of the long ammo rifles have changed in like ranking after this update? Because there's one that I feel like
Um,
I'm leading the question here, but
that's a good question. I'm going to really quick filter this.
so it's Bertha, Craig, Spokes, Martini, LaBelle, Mosin.
Mosin,
That's it.
for rifles, right?
Yeah.
No, none of the variants you're talking about, just base, right?
Yeah, you can take invariants into account too if you want.
Okay. That's a really good question.
Because
I don't know.
Here's the one. I feel like I still think Spokes and Martini are they kind of got a side movement because less ammo really sucks for those guns.
Yeah.
But having split incendiary now is really good.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of a side grade. Here's the one that I feel, because I played this some in shooting range. This gun's stupid now. The
Stupid
Bertha,
good, stupid bad.
stupid good.
Oh,
The
okay.
Bertha's really good. Okay.
In my opinion,
The
it was
Bertha-
always good.
Oh no, I totally agree. It's
Okay.
got the second faster fire rate, so it's not quite the Krag, but it can still one-tap hunters who have been downed.
Uh-huh.
It's got decent variants in the sniper range with the Deadeye. It's got the not the bayonet, the riposte, which is really good.
Is it the riposte, the one where you can light attack and it slashes?
Yes.
Like left to right?
It's
Okay.
so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's got 590 muzzle velocity, so a little bit slower, but like
it's still quick. I mean, the 590 is nothing to,
I think you might notice it from Mosin to Bertha. Because what's
right.
Mosin?
Mosin is 615.
Okay, yeah. So you might notice. I honestly don't even know if that'll even change it.
It'd be very small, yeah.
Yeah. It's got the stripper clip reload that's super fast. And then you can now have 2 ammo types. You can now set people on fire from 40 meters. You have a better reload because it's not set off of ammo reserves anymore. So now you can reload both Uwu and normal and get it better. And then right now, if you take Smuggler, it's really good. Right. So like you can do some kind of bonkers stuff with this gun.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Riposte Bertha is what is it? How much is this gun? Oh, I'm in the legendary, so it doesn't tell me.
Riposte's Bertha is 370.
That's ridiculous. So it's cheaper than the Mosin, it's cheaper than the LaBelle. I don't think it's cheaper than the Krag. How much is the Krag?
Krag is 376, so it is.
It's cheaper than it's cheaper than the Krag. Like how?
Actually,
I think in my opinion, it might. Okay, guys, while sleeping on it, the Bertha base variant, I think it is now.
The sway is still higher than the base Bertha, but
yeah,
that's the only difference.
It's not horrible though. I think the base Bertha is now the best base gun in the game. There's my hot take.
Okay. Base Bertha is
if you take special.
One special or both special?
It doesn't matter.
Or any mix up.
I would go one. I would go. I think the way to do it is you take incendiary, half normal, stab Bertha.
So riposte.
Your sway's not terrible. Your muzzle velocity set people on fire. You either get some of the best pin in the game, or set people on fire from 40 meters. You resupply from Uwu, you resupply from normal. You can resupply from both with ammo boxes, and it's less money than an uppercut. It's less money than an upperman. Why would you play upperman when you can play Bertha stab with fire? Like, wake up, sheeple.
Yeah, sheeple. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's a good point.
I can't give this rant next because I should save this rant for next podcast. But
I was
very excited about it.
Should.
It was. I'll bring it back next podcast.
Yeah,
but this update changed the Bertha quite a bit. I was like, oh man, like I had to
That
get
that
through.
is a good point. This is why we're friends, so you can tell me things like this.
Well, he look. It took me quite a few matches
Let
to
that
get
go.
Crag. Well, we're friends because of other stuff, so I didn't think I needed to mention that, Drake. Little dweebus. But like it took me a while to get Crag, because Crag's pretty good. It took me a while to, because there's the Crag band hat, and I just don't like that one a ton. I
Fair.
like normal Crag better. It took me a while to get Crag Sniper because I get too impatient to play snipers most of the time. I got both a past full mastery in like a match.
Jeez.
So good. Well, keep in mind mastery also helps because you're stabbing all the grunts.
True. Yeah, you can kill
Like,
things faster with it.
But that also then opens up your knife slot. You don't need a knife now.
True.
It's so good. It's so good, guys.
That's a good point. I need to play around with that more. It's funny because my current character that I've got to play next is Berthy Deadeye. I might swap that out. I might swap that out.
Oh, okay. I know I've said this already. Last thing about the event. The one thing I don't know I don't know how I feel. I don't necessarily like the wildcard contract being locked to 3 people. It makes it a bit weird.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Especially because a lot of times, the thing we talked about before, where like your elo getting really funky when you play teams and you keep reviving.
Yeah.
I keep playing against teams of 3, and a lot of times I like this isn't even like I'm reviving because why not? Because death cheat perks, but like I'll revive because like I'll hear gunshots because like a team fight, and like you get downed a lot against trios. Yeah, you get downed a lot against trios, and then if you're against trios, it's screwing with your MMR already.
Right.
So like 1 or 2 bad matches in trios, we like you revive like twice against trios, and then die, go back to menu, die, and then like do the same thing in another match. Usually you're down a star rating. You're down 2 star ratings possibly.
Possibly,
Because
yeah.
because they're lower stars.
They're lower stars than you, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I enjoy trios, but it's the kind of thing of there's been a couple points where I'm like I kind of want to play just duos, and then there's this weird thing where like when you get into with how it's playing right now, I'm getting a lot when I'm playing solos. I'm playing against solos and trios, right? Like it'll be like 4 solos and 2 trios, and it's an awful game.
I don't think I've got that yet. Where it's where it's mostly solos.
Have you been playing solo?
A little bit, not a ton.
I've only gotten that as solos when I'm playing solo.
Oh, okay.
I have not gotten that when I've been playing with trios. It's been normal. It's been trios.
I think they would try to spread that out a little bit.
I don't know. I think it might just because the MMA fluctuations.
Right.
But yeah, and it's a really annoying one because you fight somebody, you're like, is this a trio? Is this a solo? And then
and you just don't know.
You leave and you go to burn them, and then they've been picked up or they survived themselves, and you can't not leave because you know somebody else is going to find the boss, and now you've been downed once, and it's a it's a weird thing, and like that's my big complaint. But the other thing is, I really don't know if the solution is splitting it more. That seems weird, though.
Right.
Hey, we got our highest concurrent player numbers once again with Tide of Shadows.
I hope it only gets bigger per event.
Yeah.
I wonder what the consistent numbers are like after events and whatever.
It tanks a bit, but it's been doing the 2 steps forward, 1 step back, right? Where like player numbers have dipped a bit, but
the average is always going up after each event.
Okay. Do you feel like, because I feel like a 3-star doing an event and a 3-star doing not an event are not the same thing.
Oh no, they're not the same thing. Yeah. No, the skill level is just vastly different.
Well, like
during
I played like I feel because like I got down to 3 stars because I was playing a lot of solo before the event, and then like I shot back up to like 5 stars in like a day because of the event stuff. Like I'm back to fluctuating again because I'm back to solos a bit, but like it's definitely felt a little bit different. Less so now that the event's kind of underway, but like the first couple days, it was like, oh boy.
Oh, the first couple days, yeah, definitely. It's
there was a couple matches.
Skills are very different.
There was a couple matches where I like doing this event. It's doing events. I feel this where I'm like, that was not a 4-star lobby. That was not a 3. Like I've been in 3-star lobbies where I've been like snap headshotted from 150 meters like multiple times.
Yeah,
and then I've had like 5-star lobbies where like we like Derringer kill teams. Like we wiped the server with Derringer knives. Like Hunter and I played a round where he killed a trio of bomb lances and then another duo that pushed us after that, all with a martini riposte via melee. No shooting,
Wow.
just stabbing them, and that was like a 4 or 5 state lobby.
Well, I mean, he has
we're
reach
like,
over them, but yeah.
we were like, what the frick is happening? and then we like drop down to 3 stairs and they're like, yeah, headshot. What?
Interesting. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
But,
Oh, it's
oh my God.
you know what though? Thinking about it, I don't really watch a whole lot of hunt content.
Mhm.
There is
I watched a
one
little bit.
There's one guy that I do watch almost every video. It's the annoyed one.
I
He's
actually don't watch a ton of his.
he's on the more vulgar side, so I understand why you might not. But I just enjoy his content. I kind of like the banter and everything. Shout out to Annoyed
Sure.
One. But he has a series where he will
Is this
purposely
just us
downrank.
plugging content creators?
Basically,
Yeah.
it's a hope that they'll come onto our
Oh, is he the one
podcast.
who did like the all Dragon's Breath down's breath?
Yeah,
down rank up thing?
like he'll run Romero Dragon's Breath and then nothing but choke hand crossbows. Like it's just humorous, you know what I mean? Like he'll do that specifically to downgrade
What is
himself.
with the weird thing? I keep seeing people playing shotguns and a hand crossbow. Why are people doing this? Stop it. Get some help.
No, if it's the hand crossbow with the dragon, the new dragon bolt, yeah, get some help. But what was I saying? Annoyed One doing this.
Yeah.
He has this series where he will downgrade and play in like a 2 or 3 star lobby, but I think the first one he did, he noticed that like the players weren't bad. Like they were still doing fairly well. Like some of them were,
Yeah.
you know, you get like the typical newbie who doesn't know the game very well and will like, you know, sit there and stare at you while they're using a med kit or something. But
They're just less sweaty.
yeah,
They're just
but
sweaty.
some of them though, like would snap headshot him. You know, it's just like, whoa, hold on, what's going on? It was very interesting.
I think a lot of
see.
it's so we played one match where Hunter was. We had one night where I'm calling out Hunter here. I'm sorry. We had one night where it's just
Poor
like every
Hunter.
time I watched. Yes, it's Hunter call out night.
I know.
Every time like I spectated him to death, I was just like, what the goddamn frick are you doing positioning wise? like the Martini match. I'm like, how did that work? Like just
I'm
weird
surprised.
stuff like that. And then we went into the shooting range, and like he dominated. Like he danger killed me like 3 times in a row, and then snap headshotted me from like top of the like. It's the thing of there's this weird thing where like a lot of times people are in lower stakes because they're in a funk and they're just not trying.
Yeah.
Right? They're just like, I'm here to have a fun time, not a long time.
Yeah. I get that way.
But okay, I have one last thing I want to hit on, and I want to hit on at this podcast because I keep forgetting, and it's time sensitive. There was a thing that went around a while ago where people kept saying 40% of hunters, people who play Hunt Showdown, have not gotten a kill because there's now
a single player kill.
Now what this is infuriating because people are stupid. Because now this is, I see why people haven't thought about this, but that statistic is extremely misleading.
Explain it.
Here's why. Because that is 40% of all hunters haven't got that achievement. So people are like 40% of people who have bought Hunt haven't got the achievement. No, that's not what it's saying. That's saying 40% of people who have played Hunt Showdown have not gotten it. We used to have a lot of free weekends. We had like 6 free weekends.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that.
So like my first time I played Hunt Showdown, I legitimately the first free weekend, they were like buy Hunt Showdown. So I'm like, cool. I downloaded it. I fired it up. I played one match solo. I shot a grunt, went to my compound, wandered around, almost died to a grunt, picked up a clue and got headshot, and then quit the game. Because I had no investment. I didn't pay anything for the game. It was only available for a weekend, so like, why bother to get better? Like that wasn't a fun first experience. So like, it was something like that where I'm like, so I think that's what it is. It's a lot of people.
Technically, a lot of people have it in their library,
yes,
but don't own it.
Yes,
so that
I think
they count towards the number of people who don't have a kill.
I know it's if you launch the game, you count it towards achievements, but I don't know if it counts it if you add it to your library. So that's where So
Okay.
I was being hyperbolic. You're not actually stupid if you think that's what the statistic said. But I think it's really misleading. I think it's probably closer to like 20-30% haven't gotten it. Like something
Right.
like it's the thing of people going half people haven't even killed a hunter. I'm like, okay, like
That's
I don't
obviously
think that's what
misleading.
it's saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what was going on. And that, now that we say that this was like beginning of summer, it's end of summer, but
Right. Yeah. We're
I
kind of
wanted
late.
to post that on their soapbox. So there's what I think is slightly misleading information, but
Fair. Yeah. No, I
yeah.
remember when I saw that stat, I was like, there's no way. I didn't really think too much about it, but I was like, there's no
There's
way.
just like this brief like 2 weeks where people like it showed up in like several YouTube videos, and I had like somebody like cite it to me. I think it was in your Discord, like while we were playing.
Probably.
Somebody like, do you know 40 people? I'm like,
I want to say
that's
Dark
not what I
posted that
think.
actually.
I Dick posted it, but he's not the one who
Oh,
threw it in my
okay.
face.
Got it.
I want to say
threw it in my face.
yeah, because they did it in like the thing of, I think it might have been third when he was in like one of his moods where he's like, I want a confrontation with you, Baldo. I want one. I think he was trying to do that, but like it was something like that was like, I don't like that stat, and then he was like, it's the stupid grenade launcher argument all over
Oh,
again.
jeez. Oh, by the way,
that one's been solved though.
yeah, that one needs to come back. We got to talk about that next time.
Oh boy.
Well,
Is it okay? Post in the comments down below. Does base bomb lance count as a grenade launcher?
well, hold on. I didn't think we were okay.
And I want reasoning. I want to know why or why not.
Well, you can't say base when the ammo types.
Well, because I feel like it's been the Dragon's Breath definitely isn't right. It's a
Right. Yeah.
and
But
then
with this event,
well, yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like because the argument was over the original one. Like the one that literally launches a grenade is obviously a grenade launcher. The one that shoots fireball is clearly not. Is that so? It's like is the base
fair
one
enough.
a grenade
Fair
launcher?
enough. Is the base bomb lance with the crossbow explosive bolt ammo type a grenade launcher? There was a very heated discussion about this on, I think it was my stream a while back.
It was myself and somebody else talking past each other.
I think it was my brother actually. I think it was you and my brother.
Okay, well now you can't say that, Drake, because now you've led the people.
Oh well, I'll edit
You
that
little
out.
muppet.
Edit
that out.
I'll mute myself in the final cut there. So
okay, we've been unmuted.
Yeah.
We're back.
At this point,
Drake's
we're
cut
unmuted.
something.
Yeah,
There's forbidden content now. But
forbidden content.
Okay, we need to wrap this up.
Yes, we do. We're 8 minutes to 2 hours. So
okay, well, you folks get a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah,
so.
enjoy. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. You can find us. That we have a link tree. It'll be in the description. Rumble, nice. YouTube, Spotify, and technically Anchor. But who actually goes to Anchor to listen to it? Please
technically,
tell me.
I think we're both trying some other streaming things. So like I've tried streaming.
Yeah, I'm
like once or twice, but
I'm on a unspoken hiatus at the moment for streaming. But I will be back.
Yeah.
So
it's the thing of look, you plug in our usernames, you find us.
Yeah, plug or go to the link tree. You'll find our Discords and stuff there too. So you can find us.
A very good way.
Yes.
So,
but yeah, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to bring your drugs into the bayou.
Have a good one.